Welcome to today's guided practice session. My name's Adam Maness. Today we are going to be practicing a super cool bit of language from the great, the innovator, the genius McCoy Tyner. This is from his solo on Passion Dance, and I wanted to just highlight a bit of language that I think has such a strong sense of McCoy's overall sound. You know, we've been doing these guided practice sessions twice a week. And once a week, I've been highlighting one of my favorite musicians. We've done Herbie Hancock and Charlie Parker and Bud Powell and Clifford Brown. And I've been trying to pick language that they played that to me is like a fingerprint for them, right? Something that really identifies them, something that when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's that Herbie Hancock sound, or that's that Clifford Brown sound. And I think I've pulled something today from Passion Dance that is that McCoy Tyner sound. So let's check it out, shall we? So this is from pretty early on in the solo, and this is actually part of a much longer line. It's about a 3 or 4 bar line, I think, total, but it's something like, and it goes on to take it outside the changes. But we're not so much concerned with that right now. It is very beneficial, by the way, to transcribe whole solos or whole phrases for sure. You want to understand the whole phrase and why it works. But I wanted to just highlight the DNA of this particular part of the line, because to me, this one little thing signifies McCoy is in the house. It really captures, I think, a really great sense of how he thought about melodic content, and that's what we're going to practice today. So let's break it down a little bit. Just what we have here, just the fragment of that line that I picked out. First of all, how great is that? Just as a general shape, it's an F7 chord, right? So he might, and in fact does in his solo, and in this section does this a lot, drop down this F and G or F and C bomb here, play some fourths voicings, right? Maybe E flat, A, D, maybe F, B flat, E flat underneath this. And then would play a line like this, right? It's part of a longer line, but this is the fragment we're working with. Which the shape of it, the choice of notes is just beautiful, and just, again, the fingerprint of McCoy Tyner all over this. And, by the way, the fingerprint of most of the pianists that have come after him have taken this idea and ran with it, made it their own, or just absorb it into their own playing. So let's break down what this is so that we could absorb it into our own playing. So it's an F7 chord, like I said. We're dropping down our big bomb here. Drop those bombs. And he is, first of all, we'll start this segment just on the root here, but notice the highlighted in blue notes, right? Those are both C minor triads. And I think this is sort of the key that we can use to get this sound, is that in a lot of instances, McCoy will lean on the minor triad from that fifth away from the root, especially on dominant chords and minor chords. A couple of other key things here. That F is prominent next to the C triad, the C minor triad, in both instances. It precedes both inversions, right? So for my daily guided practice session, folks, you might recognize that as triad plus 1, the one that we worked on today. By the way, if you like practicing with us here on YouTube, we do this every day at 1 p.m. Eastern over on openstudiojazz.com. Follow this. Check out the link to openstudiojazz.com. Become a Piano Access Pass member. You can practice with us whenever you want, and it's really, really fun. You also get the guided practice app with nothing but these guided practice sessions, like so many of them. But let's check that out again. Notice that F precedes both C minor triads. Okay, and then there's this little surround, right, on that second C minor triad in that inversion. First of all, it feels amazing on the piano if you play that. It just lays in our hands really, really well. So let's just get a feel for this. I think getting this shape and how it feels on our hand, how it rolls so naturally in our hand, which is, I think, just crucial for this kind of language where we're going through one chord and we're doing these pentatonic-ish shapes. You know, it has the C, E flat, F, and G part of the C minor pentatonic scale. The D is not in there, but it's definitely a pentatonic E sound. But again, we're really leaning on the fact that, okay, he's keyed in on the C minor triad. That gives us that sound. Right? It's so hip. Okay, let's just try playing eighth notes. We're not even going to swing it. We're just going to get this shape in our hands. We're going to feel how it feels to pivot around this C minor. Play it with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. One more time. 4. Okay, let's add in some left hand. You know, the sound is really complete for McCoy when we add in those fourth voicings in our left hand. So let's add in that E flat from the bottom up. E flat, A, and D, right? F7. This is a very bog standard F7 voicing. And let's add in that F, B flat, and E flat. So we'll just kind of go between those. Let's add one more. G, C, and F. So we can just kind of go, we can go up and down. Let's practice that. We're just going to go with our left hand in half notes, up and down these three voicings. Just taking these fourths up diatonically, the F dominant scale. And let's add the line, 3, 4. That's the sound. There it is. And again, keying in on that C minor triad is so crucial. Right? Great. Let's try it again. 3 and. Just getting this shape in. Woo! Let's get the shape in another key. How about the key of, let's say G. Let's just take this whole thing up one whole step. What would that look like up a whole step? What is the minor triad that we're keying in on? If in F it was C minor, right, which is the minor triad from the fifth of our root, right? In G, that would be D. So we would start on our root and then do that D minor triad, surround the third then of the D minor, right? And there we go in the key of G. And then our voicings in the key of G, F, B, E, right? Fourths based off of the seventh. And then just moving up diatonically, in this case, white keys, super easy. So, and once we start taking it through keys here, then we really start to understand the relationships of all the intervals and how they work. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... Play with me. We're just getting the shape in our hand right now, getting the voicings. Just trying to feel it and hear it. Again, keying in on that D minor triad and how important that is to this sound. Play the right triad. And again, we can notice too that it's that D minor triad here on G7, but that G precedes it every time. It's almost like it's part of it, like it's a triad plus one, you might say. Oh man, how great are those shapes? Let's do the opposite direction. Let's do the key of E flat, right? E flat 7. So we start on our root, and then what is the minor triad that works for this in the key of E flat, right? It's based off the fifth. It's B flat minor. and then B flat, D flat, F. So you might play. Let's see if we can get right there. Knowing how this shape works, knowing that B flat minor triad, and knowing we start with our root, let's see if we can just hear our way through it. Let's try it. Our voicings start on D flat, G, C. And we just move up diatonically, back and forth on E flat mixolydian. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Beautiful. What a line. Love it. Again, key in that sound, right? That sounds a little bit ambiguous. That's what makes this line what it is that B flat minor triad. Keying in on that. That's such a great sound. And now that we kind of understand the basic line here, we didn't transcribe the whole line, so we're not really trying to take this language all the way through. We just really want to kind of understand the principles of how McCoy shapes these things. And he shapes them, again, using this minor triad, starting on the 5th of our root here on a dominant 7 chord. So if we're not going to use this by rote, and we don't really want to at this point, how can we start applying this in our practice so that it might come through in our actual playing? Well, let's try with an F7. We'll just kind of vamp on an F7. We'll just run it again and again. And I want you to start. You can start by playing the line if you want. You can just kind of loop it as many times as you want, really just trying to hear it and feel it in an actual real life situation where there's going to be a bass line, and we'll put the metronome on 2 and 4. But then start experimenting around with the concept. And remember, the concept is that C minor triad with that F somewhere near. Sounds really good, right? So how does that sound? If we were going to play an F7, right? It's the whole tune, by the way. It's just F7. Everything I just played was just C minor and an F somewhere. That's all it is with these 4 notes, triad plus 1. But notice, again, with this line, how McCoy does these turns with it, right? That's kind of the genius of it, really. So how can we do that if we wanted to, let's say, we could do things like that. Like start again on the root, change where the triad is in the inversion, things like that. Let's just mess around with this in the key of F. We won't go super, super fast. We won't go slow either. Right here. 2, 3. So it'll be like. And then, start with the lick, and then, start playing what you would play over just a F7 vamp. And start incorporating that C minor triad sound into what you're doing. Let's give it a go, eh? I'll play the bass. This is the hi-hat on 2 and 4, and let's have fun. Because this is such a joyful sound. It's so fun to play, and when we do it right, it should fit in our hand in just a really sweet way. Let's do it. Just all on F7. Let's experiment. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That is so much fun. Isn't that so much fun? That's such a fun thing to do and a fun sound to get. Okay, I have one more thing to add to this. That's easy to add, gets us even more inside that McCoy sound and helps lock this in, right? So we're thinking F7 here. We have our fourth voicings. We have our key into that C minor triad. With that F involved too, right? We have our lick here that we can reference. So what you hear McCoy do often is take this and, especially on these one chord tunes, slide it around. Either maybe up a half step, down a half step, maybe sometimes down a whole step he does. Let's just practice going down a half step and back. We want to do this fairly quickly, not super fast, but we want to key in on kind of going down to that E7, right? Think about it as E7. You can move your fourth voicing down, especially this one, F, B flat, and E flat, right? This one that starts on the root. We just move that down a half step to that E, and then move our line down too, so that we're keying in on B minor now, not just C minor. And then back to the F to resolve it. Now we've got something truly special. By the way, the bass player doesn't have to know jack about any of this. You can just do this on your own, sort of sliding in the changes. It's what causes that like, whoa, kind of really cool thing in more modern jazz. So let's try it. Try sliding from that F7 in and out of E7. Keying in on that B minor triad +1, right? We have that E can be in there too. And then back. Too much fun. I could do that all day, and I don't want to bore you. Let's try me playing bass. We'll put it up a little bit. We'll make it a fun. Let's make it a fun tempo. Even more fun. Why not? Let's try here. This is one chord. What are you gonna do? So slip slide between that F7 and that E7. I'll play the bass. This is beats 2 and 4. Let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fun. Slipping and sliding between that F and that E. C minor and B minor. So that is the sound. That's such a great sound. Okay, and easy to do, right? You only have to think about two things, really. F7, E7, The C minor goes with the F7, just C minor triad, maybe add the F. B minor goes with the E7, maybe add the E, maybe don't. I don't know. Just have fun with it. That's really, really fun. And check out McCoy Tyner, Passion Dance. That's from the real McCoy. And check out all of McCoy's stuff. His early records on Impulse, all the Blue Note stuff. It's all good. All the stuff with the John Coltrane Quartet just couldn't be a more joyful, amazing genius of the 20th century and 21st century that gave us so much. So go to the source. Check it out for yourself. And thank you, everybody, for your practice today. This was so much fun. Having a great time doing these. And yeah, let's keep going. I'll take some questions now if anybody has any, or I won't. I'll just kind of enjoy my lemonade. But yeah. Check the comments here. Yes. So someone says, so it's like playing a C minor pentatonics on F7 with the chord tones of F7. Yeah, similar. So it's one way to think about it. Cool. Thanks, Colleen. Thanks, Donald. Thanks, everybody. Really fun. Kim Dale. Good to see you all. So check us out tonight. Peter Martin and I will be on this YouTube channel. We're going to be listening to McCoy Tyner's Reaching Forth, one of his seminal recordings. Incredible stuff. Come listen with us and we'll break it down for you. Talk about it. The book for fingering is the McFerrin Scale and Arpeggio Manual. McFerrin Scale and Arpeggio Manual. Yeah, has some really nice sort of standard fingerings. Cool. Enjoy that one. We'll keep this video up. We'll trim it and we'll keep it up here on YouTube indefinitely. So you can come back and practice with this for a while. Atul asks, can we go up a half step? Yes, you can go up a half step. You can, remember we did a couple weeks ago, we did sort of taking it out, and you can do in patterns even. You can do a whole half diminished scale, just taking it up a whole half diminished scale, or up a major scale, just keeping it all just seventh chords as you go up. It all works really well. Carson, any recommendations for McCoy recordings to transcribe? Yeah, check out, actually, I would check out Reaching Forth has a lot of good ones on the one that we're going to be listening to tonight. Check that out. And, of course, the real McCoy with this Passion Dance. There's some really good stuff, too, on A Night of Ballads and Blues. I would check out that album on Impulse. Let's see. Lai asks, I subscribe to the Open Studio piano lessons, and I am wondering which one can I learn some basics of these fourth voicings. So you can learn these fourth voicings actually on left-hand voicings. I have a course called Jazz Piano Basics Volume 2, left-hand voicings, and I go over basic fourth voicings on that course. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. This was super fun. Again, we'll keep this video up for a while. Until next time, happy practice all. See ya. Take care.